Hello, this is Malorian, and now this will be my fifth and last battle of the Brawler Bash tournament, and it's actually going to be my Orcs and Goblins up against Tomb Kings again. So going into the last game here is an interesting situation where really what was going on is that the other Orc and Goblin guy was way ahead of me. So unless I got full points and he got almost tabled with killing nothing, I wasn't going to win best Orc and Goblin player. I was already also in a spot where I was already 3-1. So no matter what, I was going to be winning more than I lost. So really all I wanted to do was a fun game, although it'd be nice to get a ton of points too, just so I could try and beat, like Anthony from the Sustainable Center and Once Bitten and stuff. But as it happened, here we go. It's against a guy that had been talking to me before. He's a fan of my channel, and so it's always good to have games with fans, and he looked like it was going to be a fun player anyway. From left to right, this is just going to be a battle line type scenario, but he has a big block of a horde of skeletons. Then he has a Scullipult, a big unit of Tomb Guard with halberds and shields, and he has a Prince in there and also a BSB, a Hero Titan, the Casket, the Chariots with Flaming Banner, behind them some skeletons with the Keltep special character, then a Sphinx, there's Necro Sphinx, then more skeletons, Scullipult, and there's also at least like one or two more supporting mages in there as well. And so really, in this game here, I should be able to get in there, I should be able to kill stuff. I mean, it's just like the first Tomb King game I had, where if I can just get to him and beat him up, he should start crumbling. But like I said, I'm just here to have some fun, and really, first turn, my shaman was to explode, and that was pretty much the game. Sure, whatever, we'll go have some beer, and we're all good to go. So, really looking forward to see how this actually ends up. And one of the things that's going to make this one crazy is that, of course, the only card left is the one that I have that lets me go in Vanguard with a core unit, so there goes my Savage Orc Biggins rushing up as fast as they can. So into my turn one, it looks kind of like this. My magic pretty much did nothing. My shooting, hey, what do you know? It did nothing? Wow, that's amazing. But for the most part, yeah, I'm just moving up. Now, the way that he deployed, he actually put his Sphinx sideways. So that meant I was able to sneak in through there and be outside of its line of sight. And really, he's really going to have to dedicate something to be taking me on here, or else I'm just going to be in his face right away. But this one was basically just me moving up and failing to do anything at range. On his turn, he's charging in here with the Chariots and the Necrosphinx, and this is just like the first game, where you know what, he's going to kill me, a lot of guys, I'll be steadfast, but my return attacks is going to wipe out all those Chariots, and then if I hold, I'm just going to be beating him up, and even if I don't hold, it's worth it just to kind of take these elements that are key to what he can actually attack with, and then just get rid of them. One of the things that was kind of insane is he uses his casket on my war machines, and he starts on one of my spear chuckas. And I mean, there's 3 spear chuckas in a row, or there was. There's a little bit of a spoiler. But I thought, you know what? My shooting basically did nothing. From this point, I'm going to be doing combat. Why not? He should be failing his 3+ on some point during the chuckas, and my main important war machine should be fine. No, he just went through all of my war machines. The first chukka actually passed his leadership test on 3d6. All the other stuff, like the 2 chukkas were killed, the 2 rock globos were killed, and I mean the Doom Diver survived with just taking a couple of wounds each. But yeah, that kind of went a little bit crazy. End of his first turn then looks like this. As you see here, yeah, he didn't really do so hot with those Chariots. I wiped them all out. I think he actually crumbled a little bit on his Necrosphinx, and of course I just reformed to face him and really pour on the power here, and with the 2 Chariots, he should be doomed. Arrows were able to do 1 wound to one of the Chariots, but otherwise, yeah, his Scullipults landed, killed a few Trolls, but that's pretty much it. So my turn 2, like I said, the Chariots went into the flank, and between, basically just combat res, I popped the guy. My Trolls, and basically the whole line is just moving on up. Foot of Gork gets scrolled. Shooting actually kills the Necro, whatever the guy with the scales is. The good nice thing is that now they're all dead. The Hero Titan, there you go. But the main thing is I'm just now putting on the pressure. A lot of his stuff is already dead. I am giving my flank up to skeletons with the Trolls, but really I'm pretty sure I crush him even if he flanks me with just those skeletons. So I'm not too worried about that whatsoever. And otherwise, just, yeah, looking forward to kill some skeletons. So on his turn, he charges me both in the front and the flank with the skeletons and the Tomb Guard. And I mean, here, I don't know how I'm going to do. He doesn't have the Flaming Banner, but I should be able to kill enough that I should win or make it close. But either way, this is one of these things where, I mean, basically his Tomb Guard were his last offensive unit. So as long as this is like a swap and we both lose our things, that'll be just fine. But really, overall, I think I'm going to win this combat anyway. So end of his turn, it looks like this, and there's a couple of things that went kind of crazy. First of all, he also charged his Sphinx into my Savages. He basically whiffed, and through static combat res and the wounds or whatever, he just popped. So yeah, that was pretty awesome just to have something like that on his turn. As well there, I have my wolves back there. I mean, they killed the one Scullipult before, and they're just kind of standing around. But you see my trolls there running, because basically my to-wound roll was pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. And then after all the wounds he did to me, I broke, but at least I got away. So this is pretty nice. Unfortunately, I won't be able to countercharge with the Black Orcs, because now my own trolls are my way. But, hey, you know, he didn't get the points. I can reform and then go from there. On my turn 3, though, I decide I need an extra handicap, and I decide to fail Animosity and have my Night Goblins fight my Savages, so that kind of sucks, but hey, it was bound to happen eventually sometime during the tournament. Otherwise, yeah, to add to more of the fun, my okay, let's do the first bit of fun there. My Trolls failed their rally test, so they keep running. I do my best to put my Black Orcs in the way, but really, they're just going to charge my Trolls and send them the hell away so that they will be outside the leadership bubble. So that was a real blow. The 2 chariots slammed into the skeletons that were over here. Well, you know, crumbled them down. On the other side, I put my wolves into the flank of the other archers, and they're tied down. And so, if it wasn't for all these, you know, Tomb Guard going crazy on the left, things would be going just fine. On his turn, he decides to cast some magic, because like I said, I crumbled his unit, but he still had his one little priest here. And when he does, he goes to try and cast the whole purple sun type thing. And what happens is that he actually goes and he miscasts it, or what is it? No, it's the Pit of Shades, whatever it is. But he basically, I go and I pass my initiative with my chariot. He sucks his own self down into it, so some bad luck for my opponent there. The other thing he did that I saw as a massive mistake is that he went and charged my Trolls, of course, like we talked about, and then he went and redirected into my Black Orcs. And I mean, with the number he has and the number I have, I am just going to chew these guys apart. But, I mean, at this point, he's basically just doing anything that looks like it has a chance of doing something. And so, yeah, look at this. Those Tomb Guard do it again. So, this one here, yeah, I don't think there was any buffs or anything part of it. He rolled well, and I rolled like crap, and his Tomb Guard just went to now beat my Black Orcs. So I really can't believe what's going on. This Tomb Guard here is slapping around my Trolls and my Black Orcs. And of course now all that stuff there is in a very dangerous position. He beat my Wolves, sent it going, but yeah, it looked like it was going to be fairly straightforward, but all of a sudden, because of these Tomb Guard, things are getting kind of crazy. My turn 4, I charge both the chariots into the unit with Caltep. Just totally crumbled the entire unit, so that's now gone. He's going to have to deal with crumbling and all that fun stuff. And otherwise, my Black Orcs rally, my Trolls take off, and eventually they're going to go off the board. But my Shaman goes back to join them. BSB joins the other block. They're there to block the Tomb Guard, who, you know, take some damage from the Doom Divers and so forth. And the Savages are swinging around to try and help. So on his turn 4, he charges into the Night Goblins. I mean, he's going to have to chew through a lot of them, but yeah, so at least they're being held up there for now. At some point here, his casket's going to go away and his Scullipult through crumbling or whatever, but yeah, it's pretty much just this stuff here is all he has, really. So my turn 5, I go and I flank the Tomb Guard with my Savages, and I figure, okay, that's it, that's going to take them off. Sorry, yeah, the other chariot destroyed the casket this turn, but no, look at this, they're still sticking around. There's just those guys are just so freaking tough, and they're just not going down because they're killing so much as well. The one chariot gets into the flank of the archers and does some damage. I Hand of Gork up my Black Orc, so they're ready to fight them there, and that's pretty much it. His turn 5, you can now see the Scullipult's gone. Geez, look at that combat. Those Tomb Guard are still hanging out and causing all these issues. And yeah, he still can't seem to beat my one chariot because I'm just able to pop enough and I'm holding. And then my turn 6, I charge in the Black Orcs into the Skeletons and then the chariot into the rear of the Tomb Guard. And this is really it. That's enough then to go and destroy both units, and it's a tabling. So at the end of the game here, I was also, obviously, I complete Wipeout. He did get his, a fair number of points for me, but at the same time, yeah, this is just what I needed. A big, huge nether block of, almost 5,000 points between all the scenario stuff and all those things. And so that was just completely fantastic. It was a really fun game because the whole time, even though there was the bad luck and stuff going on, he was having fun with it the whole time. As soon as this was done, we just quickly headed over, turned in our score sheets, grabbed a beer, chatted about whatever. So just a really nice, kind of relaxing, fun, crazy game just to kind of finish it off. And I mean, it's not like he had nothing that like, whoa man, I just got tabled by orcs. Those Tomb Guard were freaking beasts. I mean, if you would have told me that, oh yeah, Tomb Guard would go and walk through a troll horde, black orc horde, and then able to hold off for several rounds of combat against night goblins and savages, my first thing would be like, oh yeah, what buffs are on them? Yeah, no, there's no buffs. They just did that all naturally. So, very crazy stuff. And, yeah, it was a nice way to end the game. And so, coming up here, I'll be doing a summary report. So, thanks for watching it for now, though. Bye.